One talk, two die, you mean?
Exactly. And it's the same thing in the order of the Illuminati, except multiply that by 10.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
That's how bad it is. And you're constantly on edge, making sure you make a slip about nothing.
Oh,
because
wow.
that could very well be a death sentence right there. And it's happened quite a number of times in the past.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, that'd be tense. Yeah.
Well, look at. Let me give you a quick example. This will tell you how unforgiving and how fast the Illuminati will move. You remember that old I say rock and roll because of my age, but he was, I think, in heavy metal. His name was Kurt Cobain. Remember him?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
There's a show on our channel about Kurt Cobain was murdered by Richard Lee. That plays, I think.
He was executed by orders of the Illuminati.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What had happened, and I happened to have seen the show on MTV. He was talking about this, these new videos he had just made, and they had been shown on MTV. One I'll never forget. It shows these little kids dressed up in, it was either white or black hooded robes, as you would see in, like an occult ceremony, and they were dancing around the cross, which symbolically means that they have succeeded in murdering Christ. Well, when Kurt Cobain was asked about that and those other new videos, he says, oh yeah, well, you see, I hooked up with this group known as the Illuminati, and as soon as he said that, I knew he was a dead man.
Oh.
And point to fact, 24 hours later, supposedly, he committed suicide.
How did he do that? What was his mode of doing that? How did he do that?
He didn't commit suicide. He was executed, as I stated. The Illuminati killed him.
By shooting him twice, he was suicided, or
they shot him in the head. Yeah. And what's interesting, and I had someone who was able to show me a copy of the forensic report. And when I looked at it, among other things, there was no powder residue where he actually held the gun to his head and shot it. Excuse me, I have never seen that type of a bullet entry wound. Now remember, I have a medical background, and I also worked as a special consultant for a former retired member of the FBI. I have never seen an entry wound like that to where there wasn't residual powder. There always is. And what's even more interesting, the angle to which supposedly he commits suicide, it's not possible for him to have held his hand at that particular angle.
Whereabouts in his head was the entrance wound at? In the back of his head?
Do you have a good medical background so I could give a full description?
Well, yeah, I do. But, go ahead.
Do you know where the parietal lobe is located?
In layman's terms, give us layman's terms.
That is the layman's term.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's just say he shot himself in the head.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Back of the head?
But none of the, shall we say, requirements for suicide matched up. Wow. As I said, it was in less than 24 hours after he mentioned the Illuminati by name that he was executed.
Wow.